This kingdom is buried in gold but dying of thirst. Despite its massive wealth, not a single drop of rain has fallen in 7 years. The drought has turned the once shimmering marble of the capital into a brittle, dusty shell. The infrastructure is intact, but the biological life supporting it has completely vanished. Local legends claim the Great Stone Dragon is more than a statue. It is the dormant regulator of the region's water cycle. But for nearly a decade, it has remained a cold, unresponsive block of granite. The king attempted to solve this environmental collapse as if it were a simple invoice. He believed that natural forces could be negotiated with, or even bribed if the price was high enough. This scale represents the king's strategy. He poured chests of gold into the courtyard, expecting his treasure to trigger the clouds. But the dragon represents an inelastic need. In a total collapse, you cannot substitute gold for water. The king's failure proved a hard truth. Material hoarding is a useless tool against a crisis rooted in the desertification of the human spirit. On the parched edges of the kingdom lived Amina. She existed in a state of absolute poverty, far removed from the gold-caved streets of the capital. In this economy of scarcity, Amina's total net worth was contained in a single clay jar. Inside was the very last drop of water she possessed. This wasn't just a surplus, it was the specific resource she had saved to keep her grandmother alive. The stakes of this single drop were literal survival. Her plans changed when she found a traveler collapsed under a dead tree. He was a stranger, parched and trembling, reaching out for a miracle Amina couldn't afford to give. Amina faced a direct conflict of interest. She could preserve her family's narrow chance at survival, or she could grant that chance to a man she had never met. She chose to give. She watched her last security measure fall from the jar and disappear into the traveler's mouth. The king offered the dragon gold he didn't need. Amina offered the one thing she couldn't live without. It was a total transfer of her remaining life force to a stranger. As the water touched his tongue, the traveler transformed. The dust fell away to reveal the spirit of the springs, a being as old as the mountains themselves. He raised his hand, revealing a glowing sun-shaped mark, the ancient seal of authority over the kingdom's natural gates. The spirit noted that the dragon remained stone when faced with gold, because gold is merely a heavy rock. It only wakes for the one gesture the earth cannot produce on its own, a moment of genuine self-sacrifice. When Amina touched the dragon's scales with her empty jar, the stone shimmered with the same light as the spirit's mark. The guardian finally roared. The mechanism of the rain didn't require a payment of metal. It required a specific quality of character that the king had long ago traded away for his crown. The dragon exhaled a massive, cool mist that rapidly turned into a downpour. For the first time in 7 years, the sound of falling water echoed through the valley. The earth responded instantly. The deep cracks in the ground closed as water-starved seeds erupted into a carpet of vibrant green. The king arrived at the statue in a panic, expecting to find his gold finally working. Instead, he found the rain falling on a girl he had never bothered to notice. As the rain washed the mud from Amina's wrist, it revealed a mark identical to the one on the spirit's hand, a sun-shaped birthmark that had been hidden by years of dust. This revealed the final piece of the kingdom's tragedy. Amina was the daughter the king had lost during the same storm that originally broke the land's spirit. The true heir hadn't been in the palace. She had been suffering in the shadows of her father's greed. The king realized that his daughter's empathy was the only reason his kingdom still existed. His hoarding had caused the drought, but her willingness to lose everything had brought the rain. Amina took her place as queen, but she kept the clay jar by her side. She became a leader defined not by the size of her treasury, but by her fairness to those who had nothing. Real change didn't come from a mountain of gold. It started with just a girl, a simple jar, and the courage to give away the very last drop.